Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello to Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea and all the RVs in the campgrounds.
Yeah, hello.
Hope you're out having fun. What is it? Is it early fall? Is it late?
It became fall on the 22nd of September, I believe.
22nd of September, fall
22nd,
fell.
23rd, and then it will be fall until like the 22nd of January, I think.
I got to get out and scrounge up some firewood. I had, when I walked Cody,
yeah,
there was 5 pieces of firewood up here at a campground that somebody had left. And I brought Cody back and I went to get it and I saw someone crossing the street with it. So they beat me to it.
They beat you to it.
Yeah, but a lot of folks just leave firewood. You know about that.
Yeah.
But we don't have to have a fire. What we do need is a hookup.
That we need.
Our gray water's full.
We weren't smart enough to dump it before we came to this spot in this very nice campground. But I have to admit that even though it's a nice campground, the roads are narrow, very windy, and the site's narrow.
It's still, it's
but
great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's in the Ozark Mountains near Branson. It's Indian Point Corps of Engineer campground. I'm not sure how many sites there are. Like a couple of hundred, I think.
Yeah, at least in this section.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful campsite. Want to welcome y'all who are joining us today. Thank you so much. Miss Barbara, if you'll do the honors.
Well, we have John from Over the Hill RV.
Hey, John. Didn't we just see you, John?
Yeah, we had the pleasure of meeting him earlier this week.
Over in Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have James Catanese here.
Hello, James Catanese. Glad you could join us on this Sunday. We really appreciate it. We didn't do a live stream last Sunday because we were doing something Sunday.
We had
the picnic.
Yeah, part of my reunion, which was a 4-day event.
4-day event, her 50th class reunion, class of 1972 from Widefield High School in Colorado Springs. And Thursday we went out and hobnobbed, and Friday we really threw down, and Saturday we had the formal reunion with a dance and a big hall, and then on Sunday we got together at one of your classmates' homes up in the mountains. What was that area called?
She lives in Woodland Park, which
Woodland Park,
just beyond Cascade.
Just beyond Cascade, Colorado, and it's beautiful. It was up in the mountains, and I got to tell you now, I got to hand it to your class of 1972. What a turnout.
We really did. We had a great turnout. There was over 60 classmates and their significant others, spouses, girlfriends, friends, whatever, escorts.
Yep.
Because sometimes they brought their children or whatever. But anyway, there was over, I think, 66 of us at dinner. And some of them didn't go to all of the events. The majority of us did. So, yes, it was very nice.
Somebody else who joined us at the reunion for several of the events was BJ and Jolynn. And they are here out and about on recumbents. Proud we could see you this afternoon. Gray and chilly early fall day here in Colorado Springs. Well, I don't want to make you feel bad, but boy, it has been beautiful here.
Yeah, well, we've been pretty fortunate. We've had some good weather on this portion of the trip.
It has been gorgeous. We left Colorado Springs Monday morning, pulled out from the Air Force Academy.
Yep.
And we headed about midway across Kansas. We stayed at a state park, and that was a beautiful little state park on Cedar Bluff Lake.
Cedar Bluff Lake.
And that was a state park, Cedar Bluff State Park in Kansas, just off I-70. And then we went over to near Topeka.
Yep.
And we stayed with some great friends over there. They're RVers as well.
Yes, they are.
But the Campbell family, we stayed with Chris and Cheryl and Donovan and Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
their children, and Cassie
Cassie's the dog.
and Merlin.
And it was Merlin the Magician, and it was...
Their cats, Merlin the Magician, and oh no.
It's escaped me.
Yeah, big tabby. Big yellow tabby. Anyway, yeah. We had a great time with them. They were very kind and let us mooch dock
Yep.
on their property there. Got a great piece of property in eastern Kansas. And while we were there, we made a day trip down southeast from Topeka. And we met up with some great RV friends. Backroads Art Studio, Backroads RVing, and the gentleman in the chat right now, Over the Hill RV John and his Airstream Class A. We're there. We got to see the Black Pearl. That's Jerry, Holly, and Sherry. And the Black Pearl was there. We also got to see the H2O version of the Black Pearl.
Yes, they got a boat, the
Yep.
Black Pearl.
A pontoon boat, the Black Pearl, and Mini Pearl from the Grand Ole Opry. No, they got a little, not a Razor, but a small side-by-side.
Yeah.
And Jerry and Sherry have been doing a lot of camp hosting there around Hillsdale Lake.
Yep.
In southeastern Kansas. Kind of.
Southeastern from where we were.
Yeah,
but...
it was kind of mid-Kansas, mid-east Kansas, but beautiful lake. Sherry works for the actual lake authority, and Jerry is a camp host, and of course they get room and board.
Well, it's actually room.
Yeah.
Because you don't, no, it's actually, yeah, room and board. You don't get a meal.
No.
That's what.
No. Dan, the Vintage RVer, is here. Hey, Dan, how in the heck are you, man? But had a great stay with Chris and Cheryl and the family. Got to go out on Liberty one night and visit a small town community pep rally and fundraiser for their prom.
Yes.
So we went to the football field over at Indian. What was the name of the
Mission Valley?
Mission Valley Vikings. Over at Mission Valley, Kansas.
Yeah.
The Mission Valley High School. And it was just so fun to get back to grassroots America and just to sit down in the bleachers and watch the band and the pep rally and the little parade and the powder puff football game, which Morgan, our friend, played in. And I think Donovan participated in the punt, pass, and kick. And Chris and Cheryl were very busy raising money for the prom.
Yes,
they had a prom fundraiser, a jersey auction, and some other things going on. But we had a great time. It was a great night of liberty for me and Miss Barbara in the heartland of America.
It was nice. It really
Real
was nice.
America.
We got Char of Heart here. She is on the road, but lurking.
All right. Char of Hearts.
Char.
Proud that you're here.
Absolutely.
So proud.
And Dan says that it's sunny in the Finger Lake region of New York, and their little Geneva Panthers had their homecoming.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, yep.
I've never been to the Finger Lakes of New York. I have been to Upper State, up around White Plains, that area. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. You probably couldn't pay me to go to New York City, but New York, Upper State, wow. What a beautiful, all that country up in the Northeast. Beautiful, especially this time of year.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Now is the time to be there.
Yeah. Leaves turning and just being, especially when it's a pretty fall day.
Yeah. But after we finished up, we did stay an extra day with Chris and Cheryl. We want to thank them for that. They again were so kind, let us use their property and had a 50 amp hookup. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timmy
And
Ray
then we,
is here.
Timmy Ray, the king, proud to see you. Proud you're here. And then we pulled anchor and we headed from the Topeka area, about a 330-mile trip down to where we are now. And this is Branson, Missouri.
Yeah. Well, we're outside of Branson. Barely outside of Branson.
We're in the Indian Point area.
Yes.
Silver Dollar City.
So you have to pass that to get down.
Yeah, that area, Silver Dollar City up in the mountains and Indian Point.
It's really pretty up
here. It is beautiful. It's
I don't know
rolling
what
hills.
I was thinking. You know, after you leave the Rockies, the continent of the United States on the east side becomes kind of a blur. I forgot all about Ozark Mountains. For some reason, I was thinking we were going Flatlanders again. And
who remembers the Ozark Mountain Daredevils?
It was
Jackie Blue.
I do. But anyway, the road was up and down and turns and stuff. It had more turns than going up to the
I did not have to struggle as hard with Matilda when I was climbing Raton Pass at 6,000 feet into southern Colorado.
Our roads are preparing.
When we got, because those are more of a slow grade.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a grade, but it's a slow grade. Here, it's up and down, buddy. And it's, even though I think right now our altitude is about 1,400 feet.
No, we're only at about 6,000 feet. I checked it when we got here.
1,400, I said. We're not at 6,000.
We are.
Let her check it again. I think the altitude right here is around 1,400 feet. But she'll, we're not at 6,000.
We're at 774
That's
feet.
Branson. That's down there by the lake. We're up, like I said, Indian Point, which is way up on the mountain. And
Silver Dollar's at 13.32.
I was close. 13.32 to Silver Dollar, and I think we're past that.
Just beyond it.
So would you say I was pretty close?
You were close.
1,400 feet? Can you look at me and tell me I was pretty close? I did pretty good?
You want me to tell you that you were correct?
I want you to tell me that I was correct.
You were correct. I don't have a problem with admitting when I'm wrong. It's just it doesn't happen with you very often that I have to admit that you were correct and I was wrong. Anyway. Slow grade, do they do that on a curve for us dim folks? Yes, slow grade, dim folks.
Yeah. But it was maybe an inch away. Now, I wasn't off by much. I bet if I got out with my altimeter right now and I checked it, I bet we're at 1,400 feet. Okay. I can sense it. I smell 1,400 feet right here. Because we are really kind of at the top of this campground.
We are. I mean,
because there's
spots a little bit higher than.
There's a bigger area down in there closer to the lake, and then we come up. We climb a little bit more up here.
Okay, but not.
We're at the upper loop.
Yes, we are in the upper loop.
Yeah, of Indian Point Corps of Engineer Campground here near Branson. Now, this afternoon, we're going to meet up with our good friends. Karina and Dan,
mm-hmm.
and we've already spent some time with them, and we've just had a great time. Now, you want to explain who Karina and Dan are?
Well, Karina is an old shipmate of mine. We were stationed on board the Stennis together. She was my first class petty officer. I was her chief, and then of course she made chief. I take credit for some of that, and we've just been good friends for over 30 years.
Y'all share a tattoo story?
We do have a shared tattoo story.
Sailors, you got to have a tattoo story.
We were pulled into a Liberty port. I mean, it happened to be Mayport, Florida, but it was a Liberty port when you're in Norfolk.
Right.
And I went to one and she went to a different one, and we both came back to the ship with tattoos on our ankles. and she was a first-class petty officer. That's an E6, and she had a anchor put on her ankle, and she was not yet chief petty officer. But anyway, so that was fun.
You know, we did not watch the Air Force Navy game. We spent time with Karina and Dan, and then we rushed back and caught the latter half of the Auburn game, and then I kind of watched a couple of replays of the Alabama top plays because our quarterback Bryce Young got hurt.
Air Force beat Navy.
So Air Force beat Navy.
But it was closer. It was Navy 10, Air Force 13.
We actually went to an Air Force game while we were there.
All their other games were much farther apart.
Yeah, Air Force has got an incredible season going.
They're doing good.
I think that makes them 5-0. And Alabama's 5-0. Auburn is 5-1. No, 4-1. 1,400 feet, Dan, not 14,000 feet. We're not on Pikes Peak. We did go there. That video forthcoming, by the way. It's a good video. You'll like it. As we took Gobi and we climbed Pikes Peak and plundered around at 14,000 feet and then eased our way back down. But it's going to make for a great video when I get it edited.
Yep.
I've got so many videos.
You've got a lot of work to do.
But I just can't find any downtime. We travel, we meet people. I'm either driving or meeting people or getting ready to meet people.
And tomorrow again, we'll be driving. We'll stop about 100 miles from where we are. We'll meet up with one of my other girlfriends. And I guess I got a lot of girlfriends.
Navy buddy?
Navy buddy. We'll meet up with another Navy buddy. Then we'll drive further down. And to Tuesday, we will be spending Tuesday with Troubadour.
Now, where are we staying Monday night? Tomorrow night?
It's another Corps of Engineer. I think it's called Spring Hill. It's in Arkansas, which isn't too far from Fort Smith and in the area that Troubadour's at. So we're going, and they're going to take us to Elvis's barbershop when he joined the Army. Apparently, that's a tourist thing.
Cool.
And then we're going to go out and get something to eat, probably Greek food.
But we're going to see Troubadour in Arkansas near Fort Smith.
Yep.
Day after tomorrow. We're going to drive tomorrow. Today, we're going to see a little of Branson.
Yep.
We've got some tour guides, and they're going to show us around, and we appreciate it. And we're going to see a little more of Branson. And
we got Sandy and Phil from Idle Cruises here, and we have Nursing Our Travel Bug. Greetings.
Hello, family. I saw that great banner they got from, was it Traveling Families? Or anyway, they're lifetime members. But they recently, it's been, I guess, about a month now, they went over 2,000, and we're
inching to it.
We're inching toward it. Right around 1950.
Dream on Wheels is here.
Hey, Dream on Wheels. Great to see y'all. And they, I just watched the video where my gosh, I get them so mixed up in my head. Dream on Wheels. That's Yanai and Travis. Yeah.
They were at the Jamboree meetup.
Yeah, they've been hitting a lot of meetups.
They've been hitting a lot.
Yeah.
They've been meeting a lot of folks. We're seeing them all over. Even when we don't want to see you, we're seeing you. No, I'm only kidding. We always want to see you.
What in the world? I'm sorry, Travis. I get them so mixed up in my head. I try to get around to watching everybody, and just so happens in the past day or two, a bunch of our friends have put out new videos. So I sit down and watch them, and they kind of get jumbled up. Mix us up. Lordy, Lordy. I know. I'll think of it here in a minute. But
both of our memories are slowly. I've got long-term memory, but my short-term is getting real short. Real short. Who are you? So, but yeah, we've done a lot of traveling. We've been on the road quite a bit, and we have just been seeing folks all over the place.
Nursing Our Travel Bug is headed toward Branson in about a month or two,
Don't
or
move.
so. We got to move on. We got places to be and people to see, and really do have people to see.
Yes, we do. And matter of fact, every place we go to until we get home, we're meeting up with somebody.
We're going to meet Buc-ee's on the way home. Got to get some beaver nuggets. But that will be our last leg from that.
Oh, man. Dream on Wheels says that they're going to be in Branson on the 5th of November. Nursing Our Travel Bug said that they're heading here in a month or so.
That sounds like a meetup opportunity.
Well, in a month or so, hopefully, we get back to Alabama. It'll be, I think, like the 17th of October. And if we can get everything done fast enough, we might be on the road again. Aha.
Well, we are definitely going to be on the road in January.
Oh, yeah.
But we have a house to sell. And I know that that's a broken record to most of you who have listened to us or watched our videos, our live streams for the past years, because it's been years we've been talking about selling that house, and we just have not done it yet.
It's because it was work to do, and neither one of us ever wanted to sit down and do any of the work. We have Murder Mystery Haunted History here.
Yep.
And Thrifty Angela.
They are going live today, Murder Mystery Haunted History, BB3 and Nettie. And they're going to be talking about a guy a woman who killed men. She'd lure them in and kill them.
Okay. A little meetup through Rayleigh, I believe.
Yes,
we
a
may
little
have
meet up
to
through Rayleigh's Creative Travel. That's Blaine.
But we may have to look into that because we have seriously been sightseeing, people seeing, and traveling a lot.
We've been seeing a lot of folks. We had kind of a mini meetup when we went and saw John and Sherry and Jerry.
That was really a delightful afternoon.
It was, and we enjoyed a great meal and spent some time just hanging around the campsite with them, and that's what it's all about.
That's true.
And
if we don't sell the house, we're going to be work camping someplace.
We just about have to be. Blowing through some money out here on the road.
We have
diesel prices ain't coming down near fast enough for me. I can tell you that right now. Especially they weren't in Colorado, and I've only filled up once since we left Colorado, but we'll be filling up again probably about the time we get to Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're good till then, but I'll be breaking Mel's rule. Melvin?
Ooh, yeah.
I'll be breaking his half a tank empty rule, which basically the rule is once you get to a half a tank on a diesel, consider yourself empty and find some place to top it off. And I've pushed that a couple of times when I shouldn't have. And for those of you who don't know, here's what that means. And it will also be a rule that will apply to gas RVs. Mm-hmm. Most of your generators that run off of your fuel tank, your fuel cell, once your fuel cell reaches 1/4 of a tank or less, your generator will not work. So if you drive yourself down to, say, 1/8 of a tank of gas, and then, of course, you have a breakdown and you're sitting beside the road waiting for parts or waiting for repair or service, you can't run your generator. If you really needed to stay overnight beside the road or at a rest area because you've let yourself get down below 1/4 of a tank and now you're in a fix. So always consider half a tank empty. And when you get to a half a tank, start looking for a TA, Lowe's, Pilot, Love's, Lowe's, not Lowe's. No, Love's.
We got Roy and Becky here.
Oh, that reminds me, have you mounted that? I haven't, Travis. I have not mounted the solar yet. We keep toting it. Right now it's in the Jeep because we don't have friends to haul around, so I put it back in the Jeep. So I got 8 solar panels, rigid solar panels in 100 watters in the Jeep, and the controller, I took the controller out of the passenger seat. It's sitting right over here in a big box with all the wiring. I know. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Missouri travelers are here.
Missouri travelers.
Excellent.
We made it. Yes, we did. And you made it too. Thank you.
Yes. But
where's Missouri travelers from?
Missouri? He deserved that. He deserved that.
No, Louisiana.
Anyway.
We just thought we'd say Missouri travelers, throw everybody off. Yes, Travis, I put it off because, like I said, I got this one company stringing me along, and I don't think they're going to come through. So when I get back to Alabama, I got to get up on the roof because we got to have that solar. My plan is to make sure I have it before we go to Florida for late January, February, and March, because we're going to be down there probably through April at least, down in Florida. Just bouncing around, but not bouncing around for 2 months. We're going to be in Key West for 2 months.
Yeah, we're going to meet Phil and Sandy.
Yeah.
In, I guess, Tampa, and then head down to Key West and spend some time with them and Michael and Shelley in Key West. But I couldn't make that trip for just a week, so
no, we're not,
and I extended again. So
we're not conks for a week. We're conks a lot longer than that.
So we're actually going to be there for 2 months. We leave on the 1st of April or thereabouts.
I mean, if you're not going to mount it, maybe I should find a new rig for our home, for a home. I'm going to mount it.
He's going to mount it.
Yes, he deserved that. Yeah, but you can't help me out here, Missouri travelers. I mean, what part of Missouri? It's a big state. Maybe I get to see you in March. Maybe so, James. I tell you what, if you're going to be where we're going to be and we're going to be where you're going to be, let's not tell each other. And the reason we don't tell each other is because every time we plan it, it never happens.
Well, that's true with James.
Yeah.
Now, he did make it to the Jamboree. I didn't, they just...
Lake of the Ozarks. Lake Ozark. Yeah, cool.
Hey, we're at Lake... Well, we're at Table Lake. I don't know what the difference is. It's a lot of water.
Yeah, something like that. Table Lake.
Lake.
It is a lot of water. But, yeah, we just, James, we just need not tell each other. That way fate doesn't step in and keep us from meeting up, because we have planned to meet up with you for 2 years now. It hadn't happened yet.
I know, for a variety of reasons, whether it's us or them or whatever. Yeah. But he says he agrees, but he's going to be in Florida on I think a cruise. It says on a curse after we.
Okay.
So that'd be great. Hopefully we will. But yeah, it seems like for us and James, whenever we think we're going to meet up, we miss each other. Susan's here. New Horizons.
Hey, Susan. Say hey to Jim for us.
They survived a hurricane. I did watch you on Facebook.
Yep.
And some of your adventures. And I know most people already know Bob and Debbie made it out okay. They went down to Fort Lauderdale with their RV. And I
don't want to let the cat out of the bag because it'll make a great video, but it's about time now. Brad and Diana. Diana went up to Carolina.
Yeah, she was in South Carolina
to ride out the storm, and Brad.
That trip was planned for over 9 months.
Yeah, no, so. She didn't run from the storm. That was planned, but it left Brad down there in the Fort Myers, Naples area.
Yeah,
Naples area, and let's just say him and the puppies took the RV and sheltered somewhere, and I can't wait to see his video. Because he was down there in the heart of the storm, yet he was resourceful enough and smart enough to do something with his RV that can be a lesson to all of us. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that video.
Yeah, Brad did. He rode out the hurricane with the dogs in the RV, and it was pretty.
Yeah, Brad rode out the hurricane with the dogs. He did. He certainly did. And I think they checked on their house, and there wasn't a lot of damage.
I think so. I mean, I'm starting
Water
to get everybody
damage,
put
but
together.
and we're not sure about Bob and Debbie yet.
No, they didn't have any damage to their home.
Okay, good.
Debbie did text me back. They didn't
Yeah.
have any damage, but the people just down the road from them and across the street didn't.
Yeah, it was a
fare as
Cat
well.
4 where Brad was. He
Yep.
was right in the heart of
In the
that
heart of it.
thing, and but I look forward to a video from him soon because knowing Brad, he rolled the camera, and we should have some good video from Brad and Diana at It's About Time Now. And Susan, they rode out the storm, and let's see.
It was a cat between a 2 and a 1
On the eastern shore.
on the eastern shore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Still a storm. I mean, a good storm.
yeah. So yeah, we're happy that everybody was safe that we know of.
I grew up on the Gulf Coast, and listen, they downgrade them sometimes right before they come ashore, but somebody forget downgrade them from a 4 to a 2. Problem is nobody tells the hurricane that you've been downgraded and ends up tearing stuff up. Yeah, we're all glad they're safe too, nursing our travel bug. Certainly are. My uncle was at his house in Fort Myers riding out the storm and outside videoing like go ahead and say it, like a fool. Like Jim Cantori, except he didn't have a hard hat or a helmet on.
It took Jim Cantori down to his knees.
They said that was the worst ever. That's what I'm hearing. That's
what we're hearing too. And I mean, I'm not trying to
listen. Andrew, Hurricane Andy, I mean, tore South Florida a new one.
Yeah.
And Michael, of course, took the panhandle and ripped it a new one too. But this one, just the fact that it moved so slow and was so big, and the water damage and the levee system in Tampa and Interstate I-75. Then, of course, it exited over there around Sarasota. No, Sarasota. Exit south of Jacksonville. Yeah. And then went back as a Category 1 back into South Carolina. Wow.
I think it made landfall 3 times, twice in Florida and once up a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was, again, because we saw the effect of Michael closer to us and the area that we go around. So if this one was worse than Michael, wow.
Susan, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it because it's the price you pay living in Florida. You want the Florida weather. You want the Florida taxes or lack thereof. You want the water. Unfortunately, people. Unfortunately, it is the price you will pay to live in Florida. I don't wish a hurricane on anyone, but listen, folks in Minnesota don't worry too much about hurricanes. But unfortunately, they got their own to deal with. You know, iced lakes and snow and bears and everything else. So it doesn't matter where you live. It's the price of living there. And if you can afford to live in Florida, then you can afford to have insurance and you can afford to be smart enough to leave when the hurricane comes.
Well,
and
that's
then
the important
then
part.
You just have to rebuild.
But yes, I can imagine how scary that was, Susan, for the slides to be moving in and out and just nerve-wracking. I mean, we've sat through some storms that kind of scared us, and they were just a storm.
They were just frontal boundaries over a lake, you know, with a lot of downdraft and rain and lightning. But I rode out Irma down in Sugarloaf Key, Florida,
the
Florida Keys, and it was bad. I mean, that's where it came ashore, and it was bad. But I hear that this is the worst one for the state of Florida thus far. People who were born and raised there love hurricane parties. It's life for them. I know it is. I mean,
and most of the hurricane parties, I remember Katrina. came through, and that kind of took away a lot of the desires for hurricane parties, because there are a lot of people.
Let's face it. You want to live in California, you're going to deal with earthquakes and the occasional cyclone coming up out of the Baja area and from the Pacific. If you want to live in Florida, you're going to deal with hurricanes. If you're going to live on the eastern seaboard,
hurricanes too.
You're going to deal with hurricanes and weather. Every part of the country has its own burden to bear, and I'm not sure that any one area is.
They're going to be Rayleigh Creative Travel has come in, and they're
Missouri Travelers.
Speaking of Branson, they'll be here November 7th to the 13th for their second annual meetup. Branson is awesome.
Excellent. Hey, Blaine, I'm sorry you snuck in there. I know that a lot of folks were talking about the meetup, the Rayleigh meetup in
Missouri
Branson.
Travel, yeah.
Whereabouts in Branson? Are y'all going to be at different campgrounds or at one campground? And Missouri Travelers going to be here. I saw where Proceeding Onward in America are expecting. Isn't that wonderful?
They are expecting twins. I didn't think that they had the sex determined yet, though. We're hoping for girls.
I was hoping for girls. If they've announced it, hooray!
Table Rock said Dream on Wheels.
Table Rock is right here.
Yeah.
You know, Table Rock Lake is here. Now, we're at the Corps of Engineer Campground, Indian Point. But Table Rock, of course, is the lake right here at Branson. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I didn't know. I knew they made an announcement, but
Summit
I didn't.
Hotel, Summit Table Rock State Park. Okay.
I didn't know they were actually had given the sex of the babies.
We're hoping for girls.
I was hoping for girls, and Miss Barbara texted them and said that Ricky's hoping for girls, and just to give Junior a couple of little sisters to look after. He's a year old now.
He's and I mean, seriously, first off, that's been a real fast year.
It seems like it. Now, if you're raising Junior, it may not seem like it was such a short time.
And Junior, he's a handful. Oh my gosh, he's had probably a more exciting life in his first year than most of us have had in a lifetime. Just all to get to, do all the things that they're having him do and be and see. And it's just.
Hey, there's Roy and Becky.
They're back.
Yep, back.
Yeah, they said you always make sure your power supplying device has enough power to supply your needs to watch RV underway. So obviously they had to switch out.
We appreciate that tip.
That. Yes.
An RV tip right there.
But yeah, we're hoping for twin girls, and they did mention that if the babies were born on 4/4, that they have two grandmothers, and see that would be perfect because that's a celebrating of a grandmother on each side of the family's birthday, and if the girls are born on 4/4, that they could name them after each one of the grandmothers. See all that the names? Oh, well, that would be perfect. We're praying for girls.
New Horizon, pray for twin girls. LOL. That's right. We'll pray for healthy babies.
That's right.
A pair of healthy twins.
That's right. That's all that's important.
Yeah.
But we'll have to look into that definitely, Blaine. Table Rock State Park, if we can.
What do you mean look into that? Come back here in November?
If we get the house sold, where else are we going to go?
I see what you're saying. But, of course, I'm just looking at it like here we are already in October, and we're not going to get back to Alabama till the middle of October.
Right.
That gives us 2 weeks.
Yeah. We could fly out and stay in a hotel.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Listen, I got videos to edit. I need some downtime from behind the wheel. Pushing Matilda with Gobi behind it up these Missouri hills up here, the Ozarks. Listen, we were struggling. Like I said, we struggled more in these hills up here near Branson than I struggled coming up out of North Texas into New Mexico and up through Raton Pass into Colorado. And it's steep. It's very steep, and it takes Matilda a little time. Now she gonna make it. She gonna make it. But if you're behind me, you better get in the other lane and get around me, because we're gonna take our time. I don't like to over rev the RPMs. So I'm one of those, when the RPMs get up around 2,500 RPMs, I'll back off before I let her jump into a higher gear to start climbing, which means I'm going to be slower going up that hill. But it's just me. I can't break that habit. It's just an old habit. I don't, my father told me to take care of my motors, and I don't care if it's a tractor, a car, a truck, or an RV. You're just going to wait on me if you're behind me. So get around me and keep on going, because we're going to take our time. However, leaving, Miss Barbara is going to drive Gobi separately.
For a while.
Yeah. Now that we know it's such a strain on Matilda, and it's unneeded, especially when Miss Barbara can just follow us for, 25, 50 miles. Once we're out of down into the foothills and things start leveling off, we get to an interstate, then we'll hook up, keep on going.
Got to say hello to Melanetti.
Hey, Melanetti.
No, we haven't sold the house yet. That's why we're going to Alabama when we leave here.
They of all people have been the ones on us about selling that house.
Yes, and we cannot leave Alabama until we sell the house.
We can't.
And I have reservations.
Not only that, we got to
so.
sell Matilda 1. We got to sell Matilda G. We got to sell a house. We got to sell your car. She's got a 2018, 2019 Murano?
2019.
Murano, and it sits at the house.
Well,
we got to sell a car. We got to sell an RV. We got to sell a house.
Well, Nissan's ready for me to.
Well, then as soon as we get back, we drive it to Nissan and
or call somebody. But anyway,
we make them open their wallet.
Quick as possible. We will sell what we can. But yeah, the Ozarks are beautiful. We loved it. It's just somewhere in the back of my brain, I don't know. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I knew about Ozark Mountains, but I wasn't expecting the steep inclines and the turns and stuff. Otherwise, we would have disconnected Gobi a lot earlier. But anyway, it is beautiful. And we're here enjoying it, and it'll be great. Yes, Alabama tried to give us heart failure.
Is that Blaine?
Yeah, Blaine said it.
Of course.
First 3 quarters.
Well, look, Georgia didn't play. Georgia almost got their butt handed to them as well.
Nursing Our Travel Bug says that first off, earlier they mentioned that we should do a meetup in Alabama.
Hey, there's Nick P.
And then they said that Nick P.
Hey, Nick.
And then just here she said an RV meetup at our place until it's sold. A bunch of RVs in our yard. That'll help sell it.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway.
We still have about half of our stuff. They could be a huge bonfire in Indiana when we go back there. Hey, if folks don't want what's left, because we've put what we want in a storage unit. And what's left is stuff that some of it has value. I mean, there's a dining room table and chairs and a china cabinet and stuff like that. There's a lot of tools, table saws, chop saws, drill presses, band saws, planers, routers, all my tools. Somebody needs to give me something for them. So I got to get back there and list them on the local marketplace and have folks come by and see what they'll offer me for them. And they'll probably get a good deal. But I got a lot of great tools, have a lot of value that I'm not going to just throw away or give away. I'm going to sell those. And the dining room set, that's really about it.
That's it.
All my office furniture.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of office furniture, very sturdy office furniture, and in our home office, and that has some value. Other than that, we will have a bonfire with everything else.
Nick says that the only thing that's going on in his future is he's going to, in January and February, spend about 50 days in Europe, England, and where else is he going? He said,
Well,
England,
tally ho,
Germany, and
Nick.
Ireland.
Tally ho.
That's something, as a matter of fact, our friends here in Branson that we're seeing just came back from Italy.
Italy, yeah.
They flew to Italy and then they took a cruise and went all over the place, did lots of cooking, all over. And nice.
Wine.
Yep.
Lots of wine, lots of sightseeing, lots of great food. And they, as well as us, are talking about a river cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wouldn't mind starting off a river cruise by doing the Mississippi. From Minnesota all the way down to New Orleans. That would be an awesome on a riverboat. No, well, not a riverboat, a paddle boat, but a river cruise boat, which I've seen advertised. American Cruise Lines or something like that do the river, the Mississippi. I'd love to do the Mississippi. I'd like to go to Europe and do one of those Viking cruises on the rivers.
We may soon. Talking about getting rid of things, of course, Mel and Nettie, Mel had to get rid of some tools.
I know.
And I can't imagine just some tools. You had to get rid of a lot of tools because you don't have the space for them.
Not as much space as the other RV had, no.
So we talked about that just the other day with Jerry about the fact that...
well, Jerry didn't know that the Prevost, the buses really, because most everything is in the basement, including your tanks and your air conditioning and things like that. Now, Mel's is modified. He's done a bunch of modifications to it. And some were done before he bought it, but I still don't think he had but just one or two bays available for storage. So Mel I'm sure you did have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah. But what a beautiful coach.
Yeah.
Oh, the trade-off is incredible. And of course, Nettie put her finishing touches on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing is gorgeous. Go check out their channel. There is a video, a walkthrough. Go check it out. Over at Mel and Nettie Living Free Zip Codeless. Check that out.
We have Blaine and Susan talking
amongst themselves,
about Susan seems to think that Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. And she was sounding off about how Georgia beat Alabama and took the trophy last year. Susan, please be careful. Just be careful.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top and get my butt beat by Alabama.
Anyway, Auburn is Auburn. Don't know how to play the second half.
Well,
still, after all these years.
Ashford, their quarterback, the one they finally settled on after 4 games.
Yeah.
He did real good yesterday.
He did.
He did real good.
But it's a team effort. It's not.
And what about that big muscle they put in at the number 4? What was his name for Alabama when Bryce got hurt? They put a thunder knocker in there. Boy, he grabbed that football and took off. I think he sprinted for like 78 yards on them. And but yeah, it was first 3 quarters, though. It was, from what I watched, like I said, we were busy, but from what I got to see in the replays on SEC replay and game day final or whatever on ESPN was, I'm just hoping that it was a shoulder sprain for Bryce, because it would be an interesting season, because look, Saban has a plan. There's always somebody in the wings. He's not going to leave himself out there with one quarterback. That's not him. There's a plan. It's a process. It's a process. He's pretty damn good at the process. But anyway, it was a scary day for Georgia. It was a scary day for Alabama. Not only the struggling the first 3 quarters, but Bryce Young getting injured. Also, Thursday night was a bad night for Alabama fans, because one of our alumni Tua Tagovailoa was injured. He got slung down to the ground. Now, last Sunday, he got a concussion, but they cleared him to play. And then Thursday night, he got slung down and whacked his head on the ground. And the dude was out.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out. His brain was sending funky signals to his body. He got hit. He hit the ground so hard. It was just the defender grabbed him, slung him down. He whacked his head on the ground. And so we'll be thinking about Tua as well. Yeah. But I'm not a big NFL fan, but I do like to keep track of the Alabama alumni, wherever they, Jalen Hurts and those guys, wherever they happen to be, Tua. So, yeah, Dream on Wheels, roll tide, roll tide, roll tide. Yeah, Jim still has 3 big, huge toolboxes back in Indiana. Oof. I've got a whole double car garage, and that's calling it small. It's huge, and it's half full of tools, nothing but tools.
Got that doctor fired, the one with Tua.
The one that cleared him from the concussion to play.
There was a big controversy.
Yeah, I know it was a big deal, but there he was on the field. He got his head whacked Thursday, and it knocked him senseless, knocked him crazy. So I wouldn't look to see him next Sunday on a field. Concussion protocol should definitely keep him off the field for a while.
All right. I think I got us caught back up. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you do. I don't know, Travis, if you're talking about letting go of personal things, sometimes you just have to let go. Or if you were talking about the defender that whacked Tua to the ground, sometimes you just have to say let go. But we do. Like I said, there's some things have value, and a lot of what we're going to be doing is meeting with a realtor and trying to get rid of those things that have value. Everything else, it's gone. And Travis and you and I say, where's the bonfire? Well, it sounds like we're throwing away a lot of good stuff.
Well, between us and Roy and Becky,
we'll be throwing a lot of good stuff on the campfire.
Now their fire's going to be in Indiana, and ours will have to be in South Alabama. So.
Timmy Ray said he just uploaded a video. Y'all check that out. Roy and Becky, as far as I know, that's the first of many Prevos I painted that I have seen out there. Really?
Interesting.
Excellent. That LSU player got lucky as well. He didn't move for a while. He's okay. I did see that.
Yeah.
That LSU Auburn game where the player was down for a long time, and they toted him off, and the word came back from the medical team that he was cleared, and he was actually going to join his team on the sideline and travel back home to LSU with the team on the bus. So to be cleared to go back on the bus with the team means he should be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
JW Carter is here. Aloha. Aloha, JW. Glad to see you. Proud that you're here. JW's got a few things in that house as well that he needs to take care of.
He does.
Or that's going on the bonfire too. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. JW moved a bunch of his stuff to our house for storage.
That's fine.
And it needs to be moved for storage somewhere else.
We'll take care of that.
Very soon.
Yeah.
3 more weeks. Well, about 2.5 more weeks.
Jim's tools are going bye-bye. If you haven't used it or touched it in 6 months, it goes bye-bye. That's with the exception of the tools I carry on board Matilda, which is quite a few. You're right. I mean, I don't need a table saw. One day I'll need it to cut one little piece of something, and I'll wish I had it, but a whole table saw, chop saw, miter saw, a jigsaw, bandsaw, drill press, planer. What do I need with a planer? A router. Routers are handy. A portable router, a handheld router, a router table now. That's a little much, but yeah, we got all those things, and I got all those things. What are you gonna do with all your books?
All my books are gone.
Done it, huh?
Just
How'd you go through all them books?
Well, there is a small stack I haven't even read yet, but most of them I just donated. Get a saw max. That's what Mel has.
He touched up our paint on our Prevo. He recognized it.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, he touched up Mel and Nettie's Prevo years ago when it came into service in Elkhart.
Nursing Our Travel Bug said, hello, Mr. Concha, naka. And Rayleigh said, it sounds like a disease. The conch, the Aloha conch. Get a saw max. That's what Mel has. I know. There's a lot of things that have gotten smaller over the years, and you can use, well, there's just a lot of smaller tools now that can do the same job. So,
well,
yeah.
You got the majority of those tools when we remodeled.
New Horizon says, let's go to Alabama for a huge bonfire. I also painted Ricky Van Shelton, Dolly Parton's, Richard Petty's, and many, many more years ago. Roy and Becky.
That sounds so interesting.
It does.
I didn't know that you had done that. That's cool. But anyway.
Yeah, that's right, Rayleigh. We'll heap any amount of volunteers gear, uniforms, helmets, cleats, team bus.
All of that for the bonfire?
Old Rocky. The hound dog. Yeah, but toss them all on the fire. I wouldn't toss Rocky on the fire. Give me a break. I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, but I throw all the other gear on there. Yeah.
And Dream and Wheel says that sounds like Roy's the man to see for a rig paint job.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Didn't know you had those skills. Now we do.
All those things make great firewood. I agree with you, Blaine. She says I use Alabama gear for cleaning. Yeah.
I have no comment. I have no comment.
If you had a Joe Willie Namath number 12 original jersey from Alabama, I bet you wouldn't be using it for cleaning. You'd be on eBay making some money.
Yeah.
Or a Bart Starr.
Yeah, you could be making some bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blaine was talking about wanting to get his RV wrapped, but it's not cheap. And
it's
more
not.
money
Wrapping,
he's got. Ooh,
vinyl wrapping a vehicle.
That.
I knew about that from the days in the radio business. We try to get the station vehicles wrapped real flashy with the logo and the frequencies and all that. Oh gosh, it is incredibly expensive. Anyway, that's going to be about it.
Yeah,
really want to thank all y'all for being here. We had a great afternoon, and we're going to have an even better afternoon with our friends Karina and Dan.
Yep.
As we do a little more exploring around Branson, Missouri, and Table Rock Lake. And we're going to be doing that here in about the next hour. We'll be headed out to meet them. And we want to thank you for being here with us because we've had a wonderful afternoon getting caught up. It's been fun. Don't forget all those folks who have lives this afternoon. Be sure all these channels that you see on here, you be sure and go by and check them out as well. Okay. We really appreciate them. And you should check them out and see if that's a channel you'd like to subscribe to.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, that's going to do it. From Branson, Missouri, RV Underway, I'm Ricky.
I'm Barbara.
And until we see you again, fair winds and following seas. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, JW. Love you.